Hello, today we are going to learn how to solve trig equations. But first, let's just back up, take a couple review questions from the previous. So take a moment, pause, figure out what sine of 2 pi over 3. When you're done, check to make sure you have the correct answer. All right, hopefully you found out that 2 pi over 3 landed us in the second quadrant. We remember that sine is y, and we look at our reference angle, which is 60 degrees. And so therefore, sine is the square root of 3 over 2, and it's going to be positive because it's in the second quadrant, and y is positive. All right, now try another one, tangent of 5 pi over 6. All right, hopefully you found out that 5 pi over 6 is equivalent to 150 degrees. So your reference angle is 30, opposite 30 is 1/2, root 3 over 2, and so when you do tangent, you do opposite, which is 1/2, divided by adjacent, root 3 over 2. Knowing we never divide by fractions, but we multiply by the reciprocal, and we end up with 1 over root 3, and if we rationalize that, root 3 over 3. But if I leave this as my answer, it's wrong, and you should ask yourself why, and the reason is that the slope of this line is negative. So tangent in the second quadrant will be negative. So our answer is negative root 3 over 3. All right, so taking that same idea, let's switch it up a little bit. Now we want to find the angles if we know that the cosine theta is equal to negative root 3 over 2. So the first thing you do is you ask yourself, okay, where is cosine negative? Which you know cosine is negative in this quadrant, the third quadrant, and the second quadrant because cosine is x. Negative root 3 over 2. So then you ask yourself, okay, well, what's my reference angle that gives me cosine, my adjacent side to be root 3 over 2? And your answer to that should be 30 degrees. Because opposite 30 is 1/2, adjacent is root 3 over 2. So you know you're looking at a reference angle of 30 degrees in the second quadrant, but you're also looking for the reference angle in the third quadrant. So you actually have two answers to this problem. The answer is going to be 150 degrees, as well as all the way down to the third quadrant, which ends up being 210 degrees. Now, just to forewarn you, because most of you would say, well, can I just go to my calculator and figure this out? And remember, anytime we use our calculator to find angles, we always have to do the inverse. So if I do inverse cosine of negative root 3 divided by 2, you will see the answer gives me 150 degrees, which is one of our answers. But there's no way we can make our calculator come up with our second answer. So we have to be smart and remember which quadrant is cosine negative, pay attention to the reference angle, and put that reference angle in both quadrants, and then find the actual angles in those quadrants. All right, now we're going to switch between degrees and radians. All right, same problem. So basically, we've got the same picture. We know we're in the second quadrant with a reference angle of 30 degrees, and we know we're in the fourth quadrant with, again, a reference of 30 degrees. So all we have to do is say, okay, well, what is my radians here? And remember, if this was the same thing as 150, then that is going to be equivalent to 5 pi over 6, just slightly less than pi, just like 5/6 is less than 1, right? And then slightly over pi, 7 pi over 6. So your two answers for this are 5 pi over 6 and 7 pi over 6. All right, let's try it with sine. Sine theta is root 2 over 2. So my first thought to myself, well, is, sine is positive. Sine is y, so which two quadrants should I be in? The answer to that question should be the first quadrant and the second quadrant. Draw down my triangles. And my reference angle, if I'm going to get root 2 over 2, has to be 45 degrees. So one answer is from here to here, which is just 45 degrees. My other answer is from positive x all the way over here, which is 135 degrees. All you have to do is take 180 minus the 45, and that's what gives me my 135. All right, now try to figure out what those two angles are in radian measure. Hopefully you figured out they are pi over 4 and 3 pi over 4. All right, now let's switch to tangent. Where is tangent theta equal to 1? Again, I always start with the idea, tangent is my slope, 1 is positive, so which quadrants will that put me in? And that's going to put me in my first quadrant and my third quadrant. Okay, so it's kind of an ugly line. I just want to draw at least going through the origin a little bit. Okay, so then you ask yourself, well, what reference angle am I going to have to get in order to get 1 for my slope? And hopefully we remember that tangent is also y over x. So you're looking for where is y and x exactly the same. And that's going to be in your 45, 45, 90 triangle. So my reference angle here is 45, and in the third quadrant, it is also 45. So one answer is just 45 degrees. The second answer is going to take from here all the way down here to 225. All right, now, same question, but instead of going between 0 and 360, again, let's go from 0 to 2 pi. Take a minute, see if you can remember which angle goes to which. Hopefully you remember pi fourths is 45 degrees, and 5 pi over 4 is 225 degrees. Okay, well, let's step it up a notch. Now you see 2 sine of theta equals negative root 3. You ask yourself, well, where does sine theta equal negative root 3? It doesn't, right? Not on any of our special triangles that we know. But if we do a little algebra first and divide by 2, now this should look familiar. Negative root 3 over 2 again. First of all, sine is negative, so that tells me I'm going to be where y is negative, which will be in the third quadrant and the fourth quadrant. Then I ask myself, all right, what reference angle would give me, when I take sine of it, gives me root 3 over 2? Or what angle is root 3 over 2 opposite from? And so if I draw my triangles, I know this side has to be root 3 over 2. And so I know my reference angle has to be 60 degrees. So our answer for theta would be that answer right there, which is 240 degrees. Or this answer in the fourth quadrant, which is 300 degrees. All right, taking that same exact question, answer it in radians. Again, divide by 2. There's no different work here. You're just basically converting your answers of 240 and 300 into radian measure. So hopefully we remember those answers are 4 pi over 3 and 5 pi over 3. And it's just going to take a while probably to remember which radians convert to which angles, and that's normal. So take your time with that, study it, try to make sure you know it. All right, why don't you pause the video on this one, look at what Hopefully you were able to subtract the 1, divide by 2, end up with sine theta equals negative 1/2, asking yourself what quadrants you should be in. Hopefully you ended up in the third and the fourth quadrant because sine is y and y is negative there. And then figuring out that your reference angles should be 30 degrees. And then figure your answers are 210 and 330 degrees. Same exact question, only now we're in radians. And so you're looking for where is sine x equal to negative 1/2. And your answers for that should be, take a minute, try to get them in radians before I write the answer up. 7 pi over 6 and 11 pi over 6. All right, that concludes the video for tonight. Hopefully you will be understanding the on your own problem and have questions for me tomorrow. Thank you. Have a nice day.